This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am your host, Gianna. Today we've got Alison Alston. Alison Alston. I literally asked her like 7 times how to pronounce it, and then I just tripped over myself. So, Alison, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So let's start at the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you grow up to be a real estate agent?
I am Alison Alston, as you said. I am originally from New Jersey. I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I grew up to be a real estate agent. I actually started off fundraising for private schools in the Northeast and did that for just over 10 years and was kind of burnt out. And my dad is he's now retired, contractor. And so grew up with my parents, flipping houses. They did some of the long-term buy and hold stuff. So really got to experience the real estate market firsthand through them. And just always really enjoyed it, but it was something they did on the side. And I always kind of saw it as a part-time thing. And all of the realtors that they worked with as I was growing up were significantly older, and it was a second or kind of third career or like a hobby. So I really hadn't experienced any newer, younger agents. And before we moved down here, my husband and I were living in Greenwich, Connecticut, and there were a lot of younger agents around there. And so I started to kind of look at it a little bit differently and connected with a good friend of mine who was an agent up there and had been in the business for a long time, and just kind of asked him his opinions and some questions if was thinking about getting into it. And he was like, absolutely, you'll be great. Go do it. So fast forward, and almost 6 years later, I have been a realtor in Charlotte and loving every second of it. I run my own team, Lodestone Real Estate, out of EXP's platform, and we have a great time.
That's awesome. So, Alison, how did you stumble across EXP? Who introduced it to you? What did that transition look like?
So EXP has been in our market for quite some time. It had never been explained to me in a great way. And then a good friend of mine, Greg Macaluso, he reached out to me about a year ago, and I was ready to start exploring a firm change at the time. And so I was like, all right, Greg, what is this company all about? I'm hearing about it constantly now. A lot of people are going there. Just sit me down and give me the details. And give me the spiel. Give me the rundown. I was like, all I hear about is this recruitment. I'm not a recruiter. I want to sell real estate. Like, what do I do? And so he sat down with me and explained the model to me. And I was like, this makes perfect sense. I wish someone had explained it to me this way years ago. I would have been here. So just jumped at it. So we started kind of having those conversations in June, and then had to work through some things. I run a few different businesses. I'm not necessarily the traditional realtor. So just kind of had to work through those pieces, and EXP was great about figuring it all out and making it a win for me and my team. And we've been here since March, and we absolutely love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And Alison, now that you're with EXP, obviously you're an Icon agent, so you're enjoying a lot of things about it. But what's your favorite part about EXP? You've got the stock options, rev share, collaboration. What do you really love about EXP?
I would say the number one thing is the platform. It's funny because it's the exact thing that I thought I wouldn't like about it in the past, was the fact that it's a cloud-based brokerage. I am not very tech savvy, full disclosure. I'm definitely a relationships person. But they truly allow me to run my business as my business. It's not somebody else's, and they give me all the tools to do it, including over almost 2,000 employees that are at my disposal pretty much 24/7. And you can't get that anyplace else. So it's pretty powerful, and it's allowed us to really be able to pivot and adapt as though we were our own small brokerage yet get all of the benefits of having a big brokerage behind us and backing us.
That's awesome, right? You've got the bones of a brokerage.
Yes,
You still get to customize your own brand with it, which is incredible.
exactly.
And one of the few brokerages that doesn't absolutely force their brand on you. You can still have your own baby that you've built from your blood, sweat, and tears on
Exactly.
brand, which is awesome. So, Alison, let's talk about your work-life balance before we dive into all things Icon, right? So how do you balance it all? Family, friends, staying there for your clients, other businesses that you're running. How do you juggle it all and still manage to be a high producer and not burn yourself out?
I would say kind of two things. One, I don't believe in balance.
Mhm.
I think, everything is a give and take. There's a lot of overlap between the two, and that I've just learned to be okay with it. I don't really compartmentalize the two things. So, for example, we'll be going to one of the Panthers football games this weekend. I'll be going with some past clients of mine. So I'm getting great FaceTime with them, getting to learn more about what they're up to, getting that connection, but still enjoying some quote unquote downtime at the football game. I would say a big thing for me is I do set boundaries. I've gotten much better about that. So everybody knows my working hours are Monday through Friday from 9 to 7, period, end of story. And then weekends by appointment only. All of my clients know if they ever have an emergency and they need to reach me, of course, I'm going to respond. If I'm negotiating an offer, yes, I'm going to work outside of that to get it done. But I really try and stick to those hours. And I try and also push that on my agents as well, because I think that's where we can get burnt out is when you're just on 24/7. People say, oh, it's so great. You have flexible hours. Yes. Well, you can work 24/7. I definitely love working. It is something that I have been ironically working on not doing. So my husband and I hadn't taken vacation in almost 5 years,
Wow.
about a year and a half ago. Yeah, not something I'm proud of, but something that I gave myself permission to go ahead and do it. And I was like, all right, we're going to schedule this now. So we've been great about doing that over this past year. We've taken a few trips. We've got a few more coming up. So I've really learned to schedule things in so that I can stick with it a little bit better.
That's awesome. And, that scheduling, that time blocking, it's so crucial, especially in
Huge.
this industry and with how many things you're juggling, Alison. So, beyond that, let's talk production, right? What does that average housing price look like in your market? How many homes do you have to sell to be able to cap?
So in Charlotte, our average housing price has gone up quite a bit in the last few years. We're sitting right around 450,000 right now. Number of homes to cap, you're typically, if you're not on a team and doing any splits or anything, you're typically looking at about, I think it's like 3.2 million. So it's pretty attainable to do. Iconing, you've got to do then another like 20 transactions, give or take beyond that.
Okay, awesome. Yep. And you're absolutely right. The 20 transactions. And so, beyond that, Allison, there's also a cultural commitment as being an icon. So you can be a coach on icon panels. You can vet other icons. So what are you, what have you chosen as your cultural commitment and why?
I'm going a little crazy this first year, and I'm kind of trying to do a bit of everything. It's one of the things that I actually really loved about EXP is you do have an even playing field across the board. Everyone's on the same splits, same deals, and there is this cultural component to it. So it's not just about who's the best producer or salesperson. You get to really interact with each other and build that collaboration, that community. So far I signed up. I'm a mentor. So I'm a certified mentor now. I have 4 mentees working under me who are not a part of my team. I just finished, actually Thursday and Friday, I presented at a conference here in Charlotte and then went to Raleigh to present at that as well.
Awesome.
I will be attending EXP Con for the first time in October. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been trying to kind of take it every month. I've been trying to do one thing different to add to that experience and make sure I kind of check all of those boxes this first year and figure out which ones I really love and want to continue with and which ones are maybe not quite in my wheelhouse.
Absolutely. No, it's important to, try different things, see what works for your personality type, your model, your
Yeah.
goals. And
Yeah.
Allison, the Icon Award comes with a lot of benefits. You get that cap back
Yes,
in
it does.
stock, opportunity to go to EXP Con, shareholders, big glass shiny trophies. So what's your favorite part about being an Icon agent? Why is that on your list of standards for yourself?
I'm very competitive. I was an athlete growing up, and that's kind of never left my system. So I am very competitive. I love for the team to have a win. So I think it's great exposure for my team. I know using Workplace, for example, I got access to a whole new group of people and referral network for iconing. So that was huge. It's also one of the reasons why I came to EXP was I was the top producer in my last firm, and I never like being the best. While I am competitive and I like to win, I also want to make sure I'm always surrounded by people who are smarter than me.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to come around where there was an actual competition and I could enjoy learning some best practices from others who are performing at a similar level. So that was really exciting.
Yeah, that proximity is power, and being able to be around people that are smarter than you is helpful in so many ways.
Mhm.
And Allison, if somebody is looking to come over to EXP, or they did already, right, and
Yep.
their goal within their first year is to be an Icon agent, they want that Icon award. Like, hello, talk about having no overhead fees if you're winning that cap back.
Yes,
So
definitely a bonus.
absolutely, it's a huge ordeal here. So is it possible for them to Icon within their first year? What does that path look like for them?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not even 6 months in and I did it. So I think anybody is certainly capable of doing it. I would say the biggest thing that I see with realtors is pick your lane and stick to it. There's so many different ways that you can sell real estate. And I think a lot of agents get distracted kind of chasing the shiny object. And especially as the market changes and we go through natural cycles, they start to kind of think, oh, I've got to reinvent the wheel. You don't. Just pick what you're good at and stick with it. I'll tell people when I first started, my thing was open houses. And I literally just did open house after open house. And I just kept working at it. I shadowed a bunch of agents that I knew got their leads from it. So I could pick up best practices and some tips and tricks from them. And then I just stuck with it. And so literally for the first 2.5 years, I was building business. That's what I did. And so for me, it's really important, know what you're good at, identify that, figure out where you're comfortable and that authenticity, that energy comes through to clients and they'll
Yes.
respond to that. And it really, really works.
You got to be somebody that they know, like, and trust. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
no matter what brokerage you're with, what your market is, know, like, and trust. So,
Exactly.
Allison, when EXP was first introduced to you, right, it was in your market a while before you jumped on board. What were your thoughts about it? Hey, this is a pyramid scheme. It's a cult. What went through your mind?
I will be 100% honest. I was not very favorable on it to begin with. The agents that approached me were just kind of relentless about the revenue share piece and just felt like it was just this high pressure, icky sales tactic kind of approach.
Like a mall
Um,
kiosk. Here.
yes, yeah, come. And I was like, no, I don't really want to work
Leave
with
me
you.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And then agents that I really respect in this market started joining. And so that kind of made me pause. And I was like, okay, well, if they're going,
Mm-hmm.
must be something else to it because they sell a lot of real estate and, their character is very good. And I've always enjoyed them. So I'm like, okay, let me kind of pause on a little bit more. So yeah, not very favorable to start with. And then, as I said, Greg completely changed my perspective on things. And I was like, wow, this actually makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I think some of it is too, just, it was the right time for that model. I know as a brand new agent, I probably would have been a little intimidated by the lack of the brick and mortar space. So that is something that I have done is I have opened an office here for people to come in and physically collaborate because we do have some newer agents that have joined in Charlotte recently. And so I think that kind of eliminated that a little bit for some people, I hope.
Absolutely. And Allison, for somebody that's looking to make the move, right? Like you, how would you have gone back in time and, talk to yourself to be like, listen, it's not this pyramid scheme, or, hey, take a look at it from this perspective, because this is where you need to be as a business owner, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
This brokerage is for everyone. Come over. It's up to you how you use it, and if you use it to your advantage. But what would you have to say to yourself to have changed the route to make the move sooner?
I think the thing is, I leave the whole revenue share piece completely off the table. And I just tell people, yes, that is a part of the company, but it's not all of it. And it's actually a very small part. It can be a huge piece if you'd like to make it that way. And you can certainly create an entire new business off of that. And some people have done phenomenally well with it. And I respect them, because recruiting is very hard.
Yeah.
However, I think that message got lost somewhere along the way, that this is actually a firm where you can come and sell real estate and operate the way you've been operating, but on a platform that is leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. I talk to people about the world a lot. That's a big thing for me that I wish I had embraced sooner. And I'm like, this is amazing. I have 24/7 access to all of these people right away. I don't have to wait for a broker in charge to get back to me. And even that was something that I had heard is, oh, well, they don't have a broker in charge. We do. We actually have a ton of them, and you have access to them all the time if you need them, which, I mean, knock on wood, pretty rarely, because you have the world. So it's really, I would say, just encourage people to have an open mind and take the perspective and approach of, this is a business model. This is not a revenue share model. And I think that's kind of where the company, I apologize, I'm about to get attacked. My puppy just came home.
Oh, no. We love surprise guests.
Yes, this is Harley.
Hi, Harley. Hi. Oh, how cute.
Yes. Yeah, this is my little fluffy baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cute. Well, hi, Harley. Thanks for joining. Well, Alison, that's no problem. I think it's been awesome. That was my last question anyway, other than, some small things like, are you going to be at EXP Con this year?
Yes, I will. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. Plan on having me hunt you down and get connected out there.
I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, me too. And especially if you're ever in Nashville. Hello. I better be the first number you call.
Absolutely.
Please. But Alison, as we approach the end of the episode, is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with today? Advice about real estate or EXP or just life?
Yeah. I would say my biggest thing, whether it's any of those things, just find what you truly love and go for it. You're going to get a lot of people that tell you you're crazy and it's a bad idea and you shouldn't do it. I know a lot of people thought I was insane for living a good paying job that was reliable, and starting over, especially when I did it. But it has been so rewarding, and I have met some of the most incredible people. And I think just, believe in yourself, take the leap of faith and just go for it.
Absolutely. I love that. Alison, great note to wrap it up on. I look forward to seeing you in Vegas, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Gianna. Take care.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.